let's go there. Let's ask you what you say. Can you take me higher to a place where life and sea? Can you take me higher?
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Nick. I'm with MelodyMinds, and today I'm here with
Wayne Russo.
All right. So, first question I'm going to ask you is, what are some of your biggest hard rock influences?
Growing up, because I was born in 83, so a lot of 90s music.
Yeah.
So you figure like STP. I was never really a big Metallica fan. I mean, I like their music. I wouldn't really say that they were an influence.
Yeah.
So you get STP, you get even like Creed around that time. Like, I know they weren't the heaviest rock,
Right.
but that's the stuff that I was really listening to, and it got me into a lot of... I branched off from there a lot since then, let's put it that way.
That's sick. What inspired you to do music?
I grew up basically majority of my young life upstairs from a bar.
Oh, wow.
And karaoke first started becoming popular back then.
Yeah.
So I was really young, like downstairs, creeping, looking over the little square window in the metal door, just watching these people sing badly and shit. And then every now and then, because I got to know the karaoke DJ,
Yeah.
and I would go in and sing like a Hootie and the Blowfish song or something like that, and then I'd go upstairs and go to bed, But I just grew up with it right there, and my dad always sang a lot of Neil Diamond songs, and so that it kind of got me to like Neil Diamond. I'll do a lot. I did a couple already tonight, and so just growing up with it like right in my face. Being able to sleep through it's nice because now I can sleep through almost anything. But with that right there, it just kind of really got me into it. My uncles both sang. My dad sang a little bit. Like nothing really like I do. They're just karaoke guys,
Yeah.
But, I'd go to work with my uncle doing a construction job and he'd be singing like Aaron Neville stuff. And it was like, all right, this is cool, man.
Yeah.
The guy could sing. So it just kind of got me into it.
That's awesome. All right, so I got a lyric from one of your songs here. Don't you ever give up. How's that end?
Don't you ever give up on yourself? Things aren't the way they seem.
That's it.
Yeah, that's from Spirit Change. I wrote that about driving by a panhandler a couple of times, and seemed like he was having a lot tougher time than I was. I was on my way to work at 5:30 in the morning. He's out there begging for change, and it's tough because you look at people through different perspectives. I've never been well off at all.
Right.
I work for everything I have, and I don't have a ton, but I work for everything, and it's like, and it just sucks because the guy was about my age, and he's just sitting there begging for money, and it's like,
Yeah, that is
shit
tough.
you see,
Yeah. So you based Spare Change off of somebody else's perspective? Was that off of...
Yeah, well, I mean, because it starts off driving down the road and I came upon a man who had nothing to his name but an empty can. So it's kind of from my perspective, but then it ends up being like him looking back at me, what does he see?
Yeah, true.
Because he's standing there begging for change, I'm on my way to work, and it's just a completely different dynamic on who you are at the time in your life.
Yeah, different perspectives, exactly. Another lyric for you. I'm all mixed up like
311. Yeah, that was from Tongue Tied, and that song I wrote because I talk a lot. So Tongue Tied, all mixed up like 311. There's another one, Completely Disturbed is my personality, and I'm down with the sickness as a formality because Disturbed does down with the sickness.
Yeah.
So I tried to intertwine a couple of song titles with band names, and I think it worked out pretty good in that song.
Yeah, I did. I noticed a few of the wordplay in there. That was actually really funny.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if that had any influence on you.
I mean, I liked 311 growing up and being all mixed up with what I'm trying to say when I'm trying to talk too fast. I mean, it just kind of worked well with the song.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I really did like 311 a lot. And so it just kind of came to me. As soon as I said all mixed up, I'm like, ooh, like 311.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
exactly.
it just kind of worked.
Perfect. What can we expect for artistic direction from you in the future?
My next album's coming out hopefully within the next month or so. I've been dragging my feet a little bit on doing my vocals just because I've been really busy, which is a good thing. It's a good problem to have,
absolutely.
But we're going a little heavier on this album. The last one was geared more towards a little southern rock, and then there was a couple of almost like the rap rock stuff, like Tongue Tied and whatever the hell the name of my album, Alone in the Dark.
Yeah, Alone in
is
the
the name
Dark.
of the song.
Yeah.
Out of the Dark is the album. I'm like, I don't know what the hell the name of the album is. I only wrote it and came up with the name. But so we're going a little heavier on this one, but there's also a couple of acoustic songs too. So a little heavier, but still gearing back, kind of keeping the range a little bit. But that's basically what I got coming out within a month or so.
So you mentioned Out of the Dark. I noticed on the album cover you have you're coming out of a black Corvette.
Yeah, it's not mine. A buddy of mine who's a drummer that lives in the town that I live in Norton, Mass. He I put up a post on there asking if anybody had a nice American car because, being in the U.S., I didn't want to be hopping out of like a Nissan or something,
Of course.
So I wanted like a nice, and he's like, dude, I got a vet, and blah, blah, blah. He sent me pictures. Like, I literally just picked it up today. He's like, I just washed it. I'll take the plates off. I'm like, great. So I hopped getting out of a dark car, and then the next album is going to be called Into the Light. I actually took pictures at work getting into a relatively newer white Corvette that's also not mine. And it's pretty cool though because it worked out well. So out of the dark and into the light. So that's where I'm going with that.
Is Into the Light the next?
That's the next album.
Oh,
that's the next album
title. All right. See, I was gonna say, what's the significance of American-made cars too? Because I mean,
nothing really other than just being from the United States, and I wanted like a strong. I was thinking maybe a Mustang, but he had a Corvette, and I love vets. I won't be able to probably ever afford one unless I have a midlife crisis, which is probably about 5 years from now.
I'm at the quarter-life crisis. It's all right.
Right.
You know, it comes and goes. Do you record all of the instrumentation on these tracks that you make?
I don't. My buddy out in the UK, Tez Super with ST Entertainment. Oh, yeah. That's the record label I'm on. He does a lot of the music through synthesize, and then we'll pull the synth out and we'll put in real guitar tracks from the guy Andy Mack, who is a phenomenal guitar player. He comes in and he makes a song sound like a video game to like, holy shit, this is a real song. Because the drums are all done by Tez. He does most of the bass tracks. Andy does some of the bass tracks. And it ends up, it was crazy when we first did Spare Change, how it went from sounding like nothing to, holy Christ, it sounds like something that could be on the radio.
Yeah.
And it's just cool, even though it might never be on the radio. It's on Spotify, and my daughter will be able to listen to it forever,
There it is, right there. You can't ask for more than that. All right, so we talk a lot about alcoholism in the track Stone Cold. Was there any reason why you explored this topic specifically?
No, I mean, to be honest, that song Stone Cold Wall, I started writing it just in theory, thinking about people driving, you're drinking and driving, you fucking either kill somebody, hurt somebody, whatever else. It was almost like a sad premonition for me because I got myself in trouble about 5.5 years ago, and directly drinking and driving, and it would.
Oh, let's go there. Let's ask you what you say. Can you take me higher to a place where life and the sea? Can you take me higher?
It's like, damn, I wrote that fucking song and now here I am. And I mean, it sucked, but you learn from it. And now I've completely quit drinking.
Yeah.
So that song to me is kind of like more of a lesson than anything. And I didn't write it for any reason in particular other than I came up with a lyric I thought made sense. A lot of people could relate to it.
Yeah.
And then I fucking related to it pretty closely myself.
Just came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
What's this jersey you got on tonight?
My dad was a diehard Giants fan. I'm a diehard Giants fan because of that. They were around before the Patriots. I get a lot of flack for that from New England people, But this is Lawrence Taylor, LT was one of the best players that ever played defense in football, never mind on the Giants. So I actually ordered on that Temu website a couple weeks ago, and it came in probably a week and a half ago. All right, cool. I'm gonna wear this to my next show.
That's sick. So you do a lot of karaoke.
Yep.
All around in different places. Is there any particular experience you've had doing karaoke that's just crazy to you or just out off the wall?
That's a good question. I've seen a lot of relatively almost famous people come through being out at karaoke. The girl that was on I think American Idol maybe 10 years ago. This girl Erica Van Pelt from Rhode Island. She was down at karaoke a bunch. I used to go to karaoke all the time. And that DJ Paulie D from Jersey Shore.
Oh wow!
I went to Johnston High School and he graduated a year or so before me.
Oh shit!
And so he would be DJing and shit like that. So other than just bumping into random pseudo famous people, nothing really crazy experience. I mean, it's kept me going. I mean, I wouldn't call my show karaoke, but I've gone to karaoke so many times. I used to go to karaoke, spend $60 in a night, and sing 3 songs.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting paid a few hundred, and I get to sing 40-something songs.
Yeah.
So it's a nice turnaround in that aspect.
So you also, going back to that, you also do a lot of covers and stuff.
Yep.
Is there any particular songs that have influenced your singing or influenced you
I'd say
your direction with music?
if you're talking about direction of music with my original stuff, there's some bands like with the Dave Matthews stuff and everything where, because I feel like even when he doesn't have his best voice, he doesn't need to hit the high notes, he'll go raspy. And that's what I do. So I've learned a lot from people like Dave Matthews, like people that are touring every night, and if their voice isn't 100% there, you still gotta go on stage. You gotta give the people, the show must go on, they say, right?
Go on.
So like I've learned a lot from people like that, but then with my dad, with the Neil Diamond stuff, because I geared my voice toward that a lot too, unknowingly. Because a lot of people say, wow, you sound just like him. And I'm like, I wish my dad was here to hear that. But that's a huge influence. And I think that's kind of catered to, like, my voice has kind of really been geared. Just, you hear so much stuff so much.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the same song all the time. That same artist, that same type of artist.
Yeah.
You know?
Same type.
Yep.
Always. Same person. Last thing I'm just going to ask, what are five songs that would describe your musical journey?
All right. That's a good question. All right, so probably a song like Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton.
Oh, yeah.
Not so much from my journey, but it's a song that I never got to sing while my dad was alive. So singing that song, I feel like, that little... I don't know how much anybody really believes in the afterlife, or God, or this or that, or whatever. But if you believe in anything and you feel like there's any kind of connection, when I sing certain songs, like, all right, so you talk about 5 songs, there's definitely September Morn, which I did tonight. It's a Neil Diamond song. I was born in September. My dad being a huge fan, he used to sing that song to me a lot, even though it's a song about 2 lovers.
Yeah.
But he sang it to me as a baby, like it was cool.
Yeah.
So September Morn, Tears in Heaven. Recently, there's a song called Ain't Much Left of Me. It's not a new song, but it's a recent song that I've been singing. And the lyrics, that's by a band, Blackberry Smoke. Ain't Much Left of Me. The lyrics of that song are so, like, spot on.
Yeah.
Because it talks about, like, I thought that I've hit bottom, but I ain't there yet. You'd be surprised at how low a man can get.
Yeah.
So, like, if you think about that, like, you can always go up.
Oh, yeah.
You can go down, too.
Yeah.
And then, from a personal standpoint, there's a couple of songs I wrote. There's one song I wrote in particular called Moving Forward.
Oh, yeah.
And it basically says you can't stop.
That also has a black Corvette.
Yeah, that was on the single. That was on the single. That was the day that I went to take the pictures for the single release for Moving Forward. Was the day I ended up taking my album cover photo because I liked a couple of the other pictures. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go with that. But Moving Forward, to me, that's a song. Even though I wrote it, I feel like that song could be in commercials, it could be in movies, it could be in so many different fucking things because everybody's always moving forward, because you have to.
You can't go back.
You can't go back. You can dwell in the past. But what good's that going to do you? It's only going to give you a fucking ulcer or something.
Exactly.
And then that was 4 songs, and I wrote one of them. Let me see. I'm trying to think of something that actually has really good meaning. It's tough on the spot to come up with 5. That's like, hey, tell me about yourself. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's a lot of people have a tough time with this one. This is like our classic question.
So I probably have to say, and I don't want to go so particular, but I have song lyrics on my arm. It says, find some inspiration, it's down deep inside of you. Wow. It's a song by Dave Matthews.
That's sick. That's awesome.
It's a song by Dave Matthews. It's called True Reflections. And, it says, when you look into the mirror, do you like what's looking at you?
Yeah.
So it kind of almost resembles a little bit of the spare change thing, like your outside perspective of yourself.
Right, looking at you.
And that song, to me, I wouldn't have got the lyrics on my arm if I didn't love it. I got it with the same day I got the microphone and everything, and that's the same mic that I use 90% of my shows. And, that song spoke huge to me with a band that I'd known for years, and I never knew that song.
Wow.
And I heard that, and I'm like, shit. Because, music, just like movies, just like anything, you read a book, it should take you on a little bit of a journey, right?
Absolutely.
And if it doesn't, you're probably not going to listen to it again. You're probably not going to go out of your way to hear that song. So certain songs have kind of almost lived rent-free in my head for years, and that's definitely one of them. But yeah, those 5, I'd say, even though I wrote one of them, it's a little cheat.
Oh, yeah.
But putting me on the spot with 5 songs is a million songs, dude.
It's any song.
But at least I have reasons for them, at least.
We take fake songs. We take songs that have just been written
My songs
down.
are fake. They don't go nowhere. I think they're real.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
That really is all that matters.
So, blue ribbon mic seems to be a very big staple for you. I mean, you do it with your performances. Do you do it with every single one?
I actually do 90% of my recording for my vocals for my album and stuff on with the same microphone. I just use a pop screen in front of it down the bass, so that way all my hard P's and S's don't give me any extra noise. But yeah, ever since I got the cheaper version, the one that had the switch on it when I had this tattoo, and I had the microphone first, started using it. I didn't love it.
Oh yeah.
But I grew to really like it, and then the switch stopped working on mine. It fucked up. A guy from work ended up fixing it. He micro started it for me, and it worked. But then in the meantime, I said, well, I want to upgrade. Yeah. So I bought the $350 version of the same mic from the same company, sure. Yeah. And it's got the blue in the background. It's got the better insides to it.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to use another microphone. I absolutely love it. I have basically the same insides and everything in the regular Shure SM58, the beta one that I have. Yeah. I very rarely use it. This one just feels so comfortable in my hand. It's nice on the mic stand.
Yeah.
I have the tattoo. It kind of looks good.
Yeah, it's nice.
It kind of brings everything together.
Matches up.
Yeah. And it sounds right. I've gotten very used to how it works. Because if you're singing here as opposed to here or here, you're getting different sounds.
Oh yeah.
When I first started using it, I didn't completely understand it. But that was also like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So now that I got the newer one and I'm a lot more comfortable with it, that's my staple now. It's kind of my go-to, you know?
So you're into like, I mean, those are like pretty well known for like vintage sound.
Yeah, well, a lot of people call it the Elvis mic.
Yeah, it is.
And I love Elvis, so, you know what I mean? And I did a couple Elvis songs tonight. They're fun, you know, and I feel like it has that good look to it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm not playing with a band. I feel like, and I'm not crazy flashy. I got a jersey on in the backwards hat. A guy at the bar actually mentioned that after I was done. He's like, man, I saw the jersey in the backwards hat, then you're doing Shabuzi, you're doing Montel Jordan, this is how we do it. He's like, you're all over the place. I love it. He's like, I didn't know what to expect when I saw what you're wearing. So I'm not always flashy and wearing sequins and shit like that. Yeah. And I only have 2 cheap lights that have given me a little bit of a demonstration to make it not look so plain. Yeah. But I don't have a band. I got to do Saiga. And having that microphone, it looks good and it's a conversation piece. So and it sounds great. So it works out pretty well.
All right. That is all I got for you. Cool. But is there anything you want to add before we...
No, I mean, if anybody's going to view the video, I do have my original music on Spotify and iTunes, and I have my Facebook music page. My regular Facebook page is Wayne Russo Jr. Just follow me, and you'll know when my shows are anyways.
Oh, yeah.
And I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
Yeah, brother.
Thanks for coming.
All right, well, you've heard it first. I'm Nick. It's Wayne Russo Jr. It's MelodyMinds.
Smoking, drinking, fucking through the shit I've been coming through the sunrise. The sun goes to sunrise, many up from what it's hiding, riding through the other time. Even love and the fight and the stuff I've been taking, all the symbols go away. And the sight of you closing every door, I wanna give it every fucking day. Everything was going wrong, my car fucked up and the cost was long. Non-stop work between the bugs, but then I picked it up. It's the adrenaline.